Right now, it's time for Coach Tyvis. Tyvis, you going over a couple of plays for us? Tell us what plays you're going over here.
So these plays that I'm going on over today will be kind of the wildcat. You know, Taysom Hill comes in.
Yeah.
I'm going to show some of the
Let me ask you this before you even get into the play, because G and I did the post game, and we were losing our minds because every single time that Taysom Hill came in the game, and every single time Alvin Kamara lined up in shotgun to run the wildcat, every time, without exception, they ran the ball.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the Browns were clueless about that. So what the hell happened?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what happened. So
Look at G.
So let me get there.
It's purely disgusting.
Let me make sure. Okay, so we good. All right, so when I look at this thing, we know the Browns' base defense or their shell is always one high. So you could always imagine they're running cover 3 or they're running cover 1 out of this. In this particular situation right here, the Saints come out in what we call 22 personnel. We call it 22 personnel because they have 1, 2 tight ends and 1, 2 running backs. So that stands for 22. So you get 22 personnel. Now, how this thing fits up is, theoretically, wherever he goes, wherever the ball goes, you got a guy who, okay, so everybody's gapped up. Let me make that clear right now. We gapped up. Boom, he got that outside gap, he got that gap, he got that gap, blah, blah, blah.
And by the way, if you're the defensive end at the bottom of the screen and you got 2 tight ends over there, you should already be alerted. The GT is coming. That means you're getting blocked down on or they trying to get the edge.
Yep.
So you should be alerted that, hey, I got to keep some sort of leverage here.
By the way, in this play, is that Kamara or is that Taysom Hill?
That's Kamara right there.
Okay, that's Kamara.
And also, Tyvis showed me this earlier. We circled Greg Newsome. That's who we're really watching this play.
This is
who we're watching.
This is the key to the whole thing right here.
Okay. So what's his responsibility on that
responsibility, he's a cover 3 guy, okay? In the pass game, he's a cover 3 guy. However, once he sees this guy blocked, now his key is this guy right here because that's considered to be number 1. So at all responsibility, I got number 1 if he goes vertical. So when number 1 goes down and block as a corner, your job is to crack and replace. You come down, okay? So I'm gonna
essentially, Greg Newsome, a corner, is expected to replace the defensive end.
Yes.
Okay.
To set the edge.
Because what happened? So theoretically, if it goes right, he's supposed to come down and be the new edge setter.
Right.
However, he would see it first, and he would probably get there first.
Okay.
So we're gonna take you to the next slide to show you exactly how it looked. So, play is going already right now. This is the guy right here. This is G New. Everybody else, there's been a block down on the
he
DN. That's the DN right there getting blocked down. This is Dale Pitt has triggered, and he's had the running back that was back here leads blocks, and he got that. This guard right here is coming from the other side. He's pulled over, and as you can see, he still has not pulled the trigger.
What is Greg Newsome doing?
And
what's he thinking there?
So that right there is the key problem in this whole thing. Because if you think about it, I wish I could show you how, like the time it took him to get there.
Yeah.
If he triggers, he's making this block right here on this tackle down here, where now Taysom Hill has nowhere to go with the ball. Because he keeps his outside shoulder free. You make contact with your right shoulder. You keep your left arm free to make sure that you got contained. If he makes contact, he's not going to win. He's going to give up some ground because this is a guard that he's going against. Sure. However, everything is condensed down to where now all these guys can come in and make a play. You want to cup the athlete. That's what we call it, cupping the athlete, so you take all the air out of it. But he's so late. I mean, look at him. He still has not taken a step down, which is mind-blowing to me.
To put this into perspective, Tyvis, leave that right there. The line of scrimmage is the 34-yard line. He had taken a step back. The opposite side guard, left guard, is already at the line of scrimmage before he's even taken one step forward.
So what is he thinking here? Is he scared to make the tackle? Is he scared he's going to get killed by a guard?
So the only thing that makes you slow on this is because you want to 1,000% make sure that they're not going to throw the ball.
Right.
However,
the backside guard
if you're looking at, I'm about to say, if you look at it, there is no pass threats.
No.
Everybody is already been identified. He has not taken a step forward yet. So he's the reason why this thing blows up and they get like an 8-yard gain on this play. But it could have been easily, think about it. If he comes up here, he sets this edge and it gets cupped. what are they going to say? Oh, my God, it don't work. Let's just take that out.
Wait, when you say cup, does that mean kind of forcing Hill to cut back to the middle?
So cup means this. When you
squeeze it.
Yeah, so basically you got this. When you got guys coming from different angles, you want to cup this athlete. So this guy with the ball, if he goes here, hey, I'm here, you got this guy flowing over.
So it's like a spider.
It's like an umbrella. He has nowhere to go with the ball.
Now,
but one guy fails at his job, it screws the whole thing up.
Well, the defensive end got reached too.
he was in a big boy thing anyway.
Yeah, he was. Remember we said he got reached. The force player, the player that should be running the alley. You know, of course you think he's going to make that play.
Hold on, G. We apparently have breaking news here. What do you got, Earl?
So breaking news from Ian Rappaport. Anthony take tag board 4. Tua will mix week 17 with a concussion. As we all know, the Miami Dolphins is fighting to try to make the playoffs. And he's dealt with concussions all season. He's out again with another one.
So the Browns would have had a legit chance.
Yep.
And the NFLPA is investigating this as well. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week. Had the Browns won, their path. Now you still need the Jets to lose one more game and the Patriots. A few other things to happen, but the Dolphins were the team, along with the Ravens and Chargers. One of those 3 teams had to lose out. Obviously, the Ravens won. Obviously, the Chargers won. Dolphins could very well lose out. It would have opened the door. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We'll see if Tua might not play the rest of the year. If he doesn't, they're not going to the playoffs. But sorry, G, go ahead.
Oh, no. Break it. No, it's just, it's one of them things where, when you watch it defensively. Now, I talked to Tyvis. He was on my radio show the other day. Yeah. And they're in a cover 3 look, but there are some things that you can do defensively. If you were in cover 2 or you were, doing things like that, you could basically switch it and say, all right, well, now he ain't got to worry about nothing. He's just going to come up. Yeah. Like there's other plays where there's an adjustment where you don't be having to sit back and cover 3 and diagnose anything.
Correct.
You just know what it is, and that's one of those adjustments.
They should have made it easier for
so basically
that seems like a pretty easy.
No, so basically when I was with the Browns in 2017 for my little cup of tea for OTAs, Greg Williams was the defensive coordinator, and he specifically said Tyvis. Well, he didn't say me specifically. He was talking to the defense. He was saying specifically the wildcat doesn't work, and I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't work anymore. Because when they played against me, what I did was I ran cover 2. I got 2 safeties on the roof, and I got my corners. But the way I'm playing my corners is they're looking inside. So if they was to run wildcat and it goes outside, they see run, corners, go, shoot it. So now you got the outside leverage coming in. Now the athlete is already cut because now he can't get to the outside. Right. Everybody's flowing to the ball. There's no way for the runner to go.
Too many numbers.
Right. Yeah. So that's what they should have done. And anytime you see a wildcat formation, you can check cover 2 and let these corners set the edge, and now it takes everything away.
Especially because the Saints ran it every single time they were in wildcat.
And I don't think there was a receiver out wide on that formation.
No, he was in tight. He was in tight end.
It was the tight end.
He was in tight. So this next one is the same look.
But wait a second. Before we get out, what I don't understand is what could Greg Newsome be thinking there?
I don't, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know
happened?
why. But you remember when they played Baltimore and J3, I was like, why didn't J3 dive? And I drew it up and explained, well, if G New comes down and set this edge, it would actually squeeze the air out and make the tackle easier. He's had a problem this season for some odd reason, crack replacement, and I don't know why he's scared to pull the trigger.
Next play's gonna show too.
Okay.
But this next play, same thing, except this time instead of having a tight end, they decided to put a big boy in there. So they got a nice little tackle or guard in there. So it's still 22 personnel is how we would look at it.
No receivers.
The receiver is right here. It's one receiver in the game.
Okay.
So same thing on this one. He gonna block down. He gonna block, boom, and he gonna come out here and lead block. Taysom Hill's coming over here with this run. Let me go to the next thing so you can see the action. Now this one, he does a better job. He triggers, he comes down, and he actually is where he needs to be.
Where is Newsome?
This is Newsome right here.
Okay, all right.
So right now, it looks really good. Like he's going to, if he comes out here, it's one-on-one, he should make the play.
Right.
However, I don't have the picture for you. What happened is he doesn't make this play, and it gets outside of him. Now, if you're going to be a guy that sets the edge, And the worst thing, you cannot give up the sideline, because if you give up the sideline, it's nobody out there.
You blow it, forcing him inside.
Yes, if you blow it, if you're going to miss the tackle, you shoot the outside leg, make him at least cut it up, because you got guys,
coming
that's
across
running.
the field.
But he makes the mistake of letting him get outside, and this turns into another 8-yard game.
Did he get held? I mean, like,
no,
what
he
happened?
didn't. Nope.
So the blocker,
he just kind of.
He just blew it.
Yeah, he kind of. You know what? He took that angle where he took this angle in too deep, and Taysom Hill was just able to get outside of him. So if you're gonna come, you got to come with an angle where you don't get beat outside.
He got out leveraged.
Basically,
that's crazy.
He got out leveraged. But if you look at it right now, it's literally a free shot, and he just missed it.
Right. There's really nobody blocking him.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
But he got out leveraged on this play.
And is that Taysom Hill running again?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, what I don't understand, man.
I know. I said the same thing.
You know, we always assume when a run, and obviously the Browns' defensive tackles suck.
Yeah.
But we always assume it's the defensive line's fault when a run goes for a big
DBs
play.
Are tied
and those plays, it was all about the cornerback.
DBs are tied into it as well. But, and it's shocking because Genu is a guy who's physical. He's from Northwestern. They teach him how to tackle. Even last year, he's came up and tackled. He's playing the nickel position where he's actually included in the box on a lot of these calls. So he should be able to know when my guy blocks down. My key is all about reading your key. If my key blocks down, I'm going because I have to go replace this.
Can I ask you a dumb question? Maybe not dumb, but it's obviously freezing on Saturday during the game.
Yes.
Taysom Hill is a load, a big dude. Does the cold weather, not want to tackle in cold weather, have any impact on that, you think?
I mean, it could, but these happen like second or third quarter. You should be over that. That's a first quarter.
No, I'm just asking.
That's a first quarter thing. You know, everybody is a little cold, but once you feel that first contact and see what it feels like, it's like, all right, now I can handle it. I see my body knows how to react to it. I know what to expect. And when you go up there and get a guy like Taysom Hill, you don't necessarily have to go up there and knock the guy out and make the tackle. Grab a leg or something. Do something, and you hold on until your guys get there. I'm not asking you to go out there and make a form-fit tackle every time, but do something to slow them down to buy guys time.
At the very least, you hold his leg, the safety comes in,
do
somebody else comes in and takes him out.
Force him to go back inside.
You got to – they playing with no – that's want to, that's passion, that's energy.
Fair.
And they ain't playing with none of that. So it is –
honestly, after seeing that, I'm like, I'm benching Greg Newsome this week.
I mean, he don't really play that much anyway.
You can't do it because now you're going up against Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and
Jahan what? Give me a guy who wants to play hard. Give me a guy who wants to make a tackle. I don't care if he's not as talented. Well, I don't know. All right, guys. Good stuff, Coach Tyvis.